It's a lovely time of the year. It comes very rarely. It comes in decades almost when it's World Cup fever time. You know, we're big cricket fans, all of us. We've had cricket play a part in our lives at some point or the other. And today is a day to celebrate what cricket has, played as a role in our lives over the years and look forward to what's a very exciting time. So my name is Ronak Kapoor. I will be ensuring that you go for dinner and drinks only when I tell you. So until such time, I think they are now louder than all of you, the Bajuwala event. So yeah, they've already opened the bar over there. But no, we're here for a lovely time and for some interesting, insightful conversation. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite our two very special guests. I don't think they need any introduction, but for what it's worth, to just recap, I mean, we have one man here who's played 367 internationals for India, 711 wickets. We describe him as a player of passion. He's a World Cup winner. He's a World T20 winner. He's a multiple-time IPL champion. And he remains one of the most recognizable faces in the sport, one of our greatest ever spinners. We have another man here who I'd like to describe as perhaps cricket's first celebrity, right? A World Cup winner in his own right, a World Championship champion, the champion of the World Championships, a former captain, a former coach, and the most iconic voice of the game of cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo's Road to the World Cup. Give it up for Harbhajan Singh and Ravi Shastri. I was very nervous. Normally the build-up is Ravi Shastri's job. In multiple languages and what. Did I do okay?
You're absolutely fine.
Oh my, thank God. Chalo, shukar hai. Bajipa theek tha na?
इन्होंने बोल दिया तो फिर
नहीं, you can differ with each other. ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. Might I also, before we move on, give a very special welcome to all of you, of course, our partners from various agencies, from various companies, but our guest of honor needs a special mention too. So, Mr. Shashank Srivastava, could you give him a round of applause, please? Senior Executive Officer, Marketing and Sales, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, and we'll be hearing from Mr. Srivastava in just a little while from now. एक तरह से आपकी जो जनरेशन है ना बजीपा, वो 2011 वाली जो जीत थी, उसके बाद ऐसे लगता है कि शायद आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए ना थोड़ा आपने बिगाड़ दिया, क्योंकि उसके बाद लग रहा है उम्मीद यही थी कि हर वर्ल्ड कप मैच हर आईसीसी इवेंट इंडिया को ही जीतना है. आफ्टर 83 आई थिंक everybody was on a high, but then there were such tough teams, whatnot in that, and India's chances were up and down in the 80s, 90s. Maybe the expectation pressure wasn't much. Then you guys came, and then after that it looks like जितने भी player उसके बाद आए, if they don't win the final, it's a travesty. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they've been essentially brought up in that generation. This is their Tendulkar World Cup, you feel. इसके बाद शायद मौका मिले ना मिले, mostly ना मिले. How do you think that affects the generation just after you? You played with them when they were very young. But एक तरह से, do you feel like they've had the toughest 10, 12 years, given the expectation that your batch left behind?
Yeah, I feel, for any cricketer, expectations are very, very high. Especially if you are Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, आपका वैसा स्ट्रेचर है, तो एक्सपेक्टेशन और बढ़ती हैं. ऑफ कोर्स व्हेन कपिल पाजी, रवि भाई और वो टीम ने वर्ल्ड कप जीता, उसके बाद भी ऐसा नहीं कि एक्सपेक्टेशन कम हुई. नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन दे वेंट टू प्ले द वर्ल्ड कप,
इट वाज इन इंडिया,
द होल इंडिया वांटेड इंडिया टू विन, बिकॉज दे फेल्ट कि इंडिया में वो ताकत है, वो जीत सकते हैं. सो वो कभी कम नहीं हुई है, वो बढ़ती ही हैं. सो मोर यू विन, एक्सपेक्टेशंस गो हाई. तो जो 2011 के बाद हुआ, पीपल फेल्ट कि 2015 में भी हो सकता है, पर वो भूल जाते हैं कि बाकी की 8 टीमें भी आती हैं वहाँ. ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी होती है, इंग्लैंड भी होती है और बाकी की टीमें होती हैं. बट एज ए प्लेयर, अगर मैं विराट कोहली की बात करूँ या रोहित की बात करूँ, एक्सपेक्टेशन उनसे हर मैच में ऐसा कि उतरें तो बस वो 100 रन बनाएं या जिता के ही आएँ. और जिस दिन वो नहीं होता है, तो जो प्लेयर के मन में गुजरता है या उसके दिल में गुजरता है सिर्फ वही जानता है। और एक्सपेक्टेशन, वो मैच हार जाएं तो उसके बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि कम हो जाती हैं, अगले मैच में और हो जाती हैं कि नहीं यार, एक तो अपने आप से एक्सपेक्टेशन है, एक टीम जब इंडिया में खेल रही है तो दुगनी एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है। एवरी टाइम वी वेंट ड्यूरिंग दैट टूर्नामेंट 2011, फ्रॉम द एयरपोर्ट टू द होटल्स टू एनीवेयर वी वेंट एज अ टीम, एवरीबडी वाज लाइक जीतना है पाजी, जीतना है। और we were not allowed to read newspaper, watch TV, news, because we were under this, we made this rule under our own team that we will not watch TV, will not
Really?
read.
This is during 2011?
Yes.
Throughout.
Will not watch TV, will not watch news, will not read newspapers. So we were not getting newspapers in our rooms, simply because it is add-on kind of a pressure.
Correct.
So you don't want to
और
have.
उस टाइम पे आई डोंट थिंक ट्विटर एंड इंस्टाग्राम और सोशल मीडिया का इतना
नहीं,
वो
ये तो
दबाव
था-
था।
ये तो था ही नहीं, ये था ही नहीं।
फेसबुक वगैरह था, बट देयर वाज नॉट मच सोशल मीडिया।
या ये था ही नहीं। और फेसबुक डिफरेंट चीज़ों के लिए
हाँ,
जो है वो
करेक्ट
था।
करेक्ट। आई थिंक द स्मार्टफोन वाज जस्ट अबाउट कमिंग इन।
सो अब जो है वो एक्सपेक्टेशन तो और भी ज़्यादा है, और घर पे हो रहा है तो ऐसा है कि यार जीतना ही है। सो व्हाट रोहित एंड विराट मस्ट बी गोइंग थ्रू, वी कांट रियली फील, क्योंकि मैं तो वही फील कर रहा था कि यार मैं इस बोर्ड में क्यों हूँ। एट द सेम टाइम आई वाज प्लेइंग कि यार मैं इंडिया के लिए खेल रहा हूँ, एट द सेम टाइम व्हाई द हेल आई एम हियर,
या
कि यार इतना
गाली
pressure।
पड़ रही है
हाँ,
या क्रिटिसिज्म हो
मतलब
रही
सब
है।
कुछ।
हमारे राइटर
नहीं,
ऐसे
नहीं,
कभी नहीं किया।
नहीं तो शुक्र है आप ये चैट अप कर रहे हो, क्योंकि सब बंद करेगा टीवी 3-4 दिन के बाद।
क्यों?
क्यों आज जो कर रहा है वो थोड़ा देखेंगे,
नहीं, आज
पढ़ेंगे।
दिखाएंगे नहीं सब।
अभी 4 तारीख के बाद सब बंद।
नहीं, बट रियलिस्टिकली जो ये बात कर रहे हैं भज्जी, यू बीन कोच विद द टीम मोर रिसेंटली इन द dangerous era where you can't block it out. Can you do something like that realistically today and tell them no reading tweets, no
Not
reading
easy.
Insta, no reading anything online?
Not easy, because the young generation, has grown up on that. So to blank off, cut off, it's an individual this thing. But the normal diktat from a coach or from the management should be what Baji said. Jitna kam ho sake. If you can avoid it, nothing like it, but keep it to the bare minimum. Because there's a whole world out there giving their expert opinions. You're amongst 11 people who have been chosen by the country to represent India in the World Cup. You know as well as everyone else what is the requirement. And you have to stay focused on that and not allow that outside pressure to get to you, to weigh you down.
Did you notice that without, I'm never going to ask you to take names, but did you notice that when you were coach that there are players that are getting affected by what is being said?
Of course.
What is being...
Of course. It will happen. It's natural. Walking towards the airport, some guy will come and say, Dekha, this guy has written this about you. ये रौनक कपूर ऐसा उल्टा सीधा कुछ बोल दिया है। आके बताएंगे। तो उसका दिमाग में रहता है कि कब मैं देखूं ये बंदे को, कब मिलूं मेरे सामने आए, कुछ बोलना पड़ेगा। So it happens naturally.
Yeah.
And we have 1.4 billion people. अब पॉपुलेशन मुंबई का ऑस्ट्रेलिया से ज़्यादा है। तो मतलब मुंबई एयरपोर्ट में काफ़ी जन कान खाएंगे। इंडिया की तरफ घूमने शुरू किया तो फिर देखो क्या होगा। एक बार भारत दर्शन शुरू होता है तो सब एक्सपर्ट होते हैं।
बट मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली वो जो आपने बात कही है कि ये एयरपोर्ट पे तो होगा ही होगा, बट दिस सोशल मीडिया, आई मीन यू कांट कंट्रोल,
यू कांट।
सो दिस इज वेयर प्लेयर, आई बिलीव they have to keep their phone on a side for next 2 months.
ये लॉक करो।
और एक फोन ऐसा
एक
रखना
बेचैनी
चाहिए।
होती है ना आजकल अगर फोन साथ में नहीं है।
नहीं, एक फोन ऐसा रखो जिसपे ये सामाजिक माध्यम ना हो, सोशल मीडिया जिसको हम अंग्रेजी में कह देते हैं, कि ये ना हो। अगर वो नहीं है तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें आसान हो जाती हैं। वो कहते हैं ना कि ये जब तक ये फ्रूट थे एप्पल और ये सब चीज़ें तब तक ही ठीक था, उसके बाद जब से ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक में आए हैं तब से काम खराब हो गया।
ना दैट इज न्यूज़ टू मी, क्योंकि जब मैं क्रिकेटर्स से बात करता हूँ दे गेट मोर अफेक्टेड बाय व्हाट फॉर्मर क्रिकेटर्स से मोर देन व्हाट
फॉर्मर क्रिकेटर्स हैव टू डू अ जॉब। हमको थोड़ी किट बैग उठाना है उनका। जो हम देखेंगे हम बात करेंगे उसके बारे में, क्योंकि हमारे व्यूअर्स भी है।
डू यू फील
यू हैव टू बी ऑनेस्ट टू योर व्यूअर।
जेन्युइनली डू यू
नहीं तो आप सुनेंगे कमेंट, बोला ये तो
कमाल
इसका
के
चमचा है या उसका चमचा है, ये उसका ये है। आप ही बोलने शुरू करेंगे।
मैं
मुझे जो दिखाई देता है मैं बात करूंगा।
No, I used to feel that way. You know, when some of the commentator, without naming anyone,
नहीं नेम कर लो, इसमें नेम कर लो आप।
नहीं कुछ है,
हाँ।
और कुछ लोग थे जो मतलब वो अपना काम कर रहे थे उस समय, और जो उनका ओपिनियन था वो मुझे कभी कभार हर्ट करता था कि यार व्हाई इज ही टॉकिंग लाइक दिस टू मी. बट व्हेन आई केम टू दिस साइड ऑफ यू नो commentary side या फिर expert side, then I believe यार I am doing what I see. You know, I am talking what I see. And if I say कि नहीं यार ये ऐसा नहीं ऐसा हुआ है, तो people are also watching the same game. And everybody are like smart to understand what is going on. And I can't say कि अगर घोड़ा दौड़ रहा है तो मैं कहूँ कि नहीं ये घोड़ा नहीं हाथी दौड़ रहा है, तो मेरे को घोड़ा ही बोलना पड़ेगा अगर दौड़ रहा है. तो I mean वो होगा,
पक्का होगा. एंड इफ अगर कोई बंदे के पास एजेंडा हो और एजेंडा ड्रिवन हो और उसका कमेंट्री उस तरफ आता है, मींस व्हेन यू लिसन एंड यू रियलाइज दैट दिस गाय हैज एन एजेंडा टू बी आफ्टर रौनक कपूर और एक्स वाई जी, पता चल जाता है थोड़ा देर.
But it didn't exist as much in your time. You also had former players commenting on you.
Of course.
पर आज ऐसे लग रहा है कि perhaps, am I wrong in saying that perhaps today's players are more easily offended, more sensitive?
There is no comparison. हमारे ज़माने में जो मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स थे, compared to what it is today, it is chalk and cheese.
Yes.
I mean, we had sports channels, one or two, दूरदर्शन, फिर एक दो और
Or you
चैनल
read
आ
something in a newspaper about a column. That's
गए.
it.
एक दो न्यूज़ चैनल थे.
Correct.
अब देखो कितना है. Now there is electronic media as well. There is social media as well. There is no comparison. It's chalk and cheese. But उसमें positives भी है,
Yeah.
which the player should realize. It's making the game bigger.
Yes, of
It
course.
is spreading what's happening in the game very quickly like wildfire. So you got to think of that as well.
Yeah, what it's created is superstars.
Absolutely.
Right? Everyone's a superstar.
Man, it
Earlier,
could-
if you played 100 tests
It could be very quick.
or 80 tests, then you were a superstar. Now, it doesn't matter. You without test cricket, you can become a superstar. And that is the, there's no condescending here. It's the game of social media. Rohit Sharma said at the press conference, I think before the Asia Cup, when he was asked, कि ऐसे player हमारे पास क्यों नहीं है जो batting, our batters don't bowl, our bowlers don't bat. यार, why aren't players like you still there? You know, Bhaji could tonk of you. He's won games for us. You were a proper all-rounder. He said ऐसे player overnight नहीं बना सकते. तो कैसे बनाएंगे? काफी सालों से ये problem ऐसे
you
लग
should
रही
have
है.
asked him why didn't he bowl. He used to bowl very good off spin.
I believe it's injury or whatever. But
नहीं वो किया ही नहीं ना.
Yeah.
रोहित शर्मा, he's someone who took hat trick in the
in the
IPL.
IPL, yeah. And he was a skillful off spinner, wasn't he?
मेरे 14 साल में मैंने हैट्रिक नहीं लिया भाई. तो रोहित शर्मा ये सवाल का जवाब खुद ही दे सकता था कि भाई खुद थोड़ी सी बॉलिंग कर लेता तो वो काम जो है वो सॉल्व हो सकता था.
किसकी जिम्मेदारी है कि ऐसे प्लेयर बनाने पड़ेंगे इंडियन टीम के लिए, क्योंकि ऐसे लग रहा है ऑल आर रिजर्व बैटर्स आल्सो, या श्रेयस अय्यर, सूर्य कुमार यादव, शुभमन गिल, केएल राहुल, सब ऐसे ही लग रहा है कि क्लास बैटर है, पर वो स्किल सेट नहीं है जो आपकी 2011 वाली टीम में
जब
थी.
when someone has that talent, he should keep exploit. I'll tell you a case of Sachin Tendulkar. वो जब आया खेलने के लिए, वो 17, 18, 19 साल का था, नेट में जाता था, बैटिंग करता था, और उसको इतना कीड़ा था वो बॉल पकड़ने के लिए. ना कीड़ा बोलता है ना, कीड़ा मतलब खत्म हुआ बैटिंग, जाके बॉलिंग शुरू. 1-1.5 घंटा बॉलिंग, पहला मीडियम पेस, बाद में स्पिन राइट थ्रू हिज करियर. ओनली लास्ट 3-4 साल में जब उसका शोल्डर इंजरीज होने लगा, एंड उस 200 विकेट के करीब निकाला है वो वनडे क्रिकेट में.
Unbelievable.
So you know it is what you want to do, like he said.
Do these current batters
And I'll tell you why it doesn't happen, क्योंकि अपने पास इतना slingers है अब.
तो आप ही तो ले जाते हो, हेड कोच थे तो आप
नहीं,
ही
वो
तो ले
तो
जाते
उसका फायदा होता है, बट दैट देन मेक्स द जॉब. खत्म होता है बैटिंग, उसको फिर जाके बैटिंग करना है अगेंस्ट द स्लिंगर्स. वेयर आई एज अ क्रिकेटर, इट हैज टू कम फ्रॉम विद इन.
या
You can make it happen, you know, by going and bowling in the nets, you know, a lot.
इज देयर अ वरी?
He's bowling in the nets now,
राइट,
Rohit.
he is bowling in the net.
Yeah.
And is there a worry that this might be a trend now, बजीपा, कि आईपीएल में भी अभी इम्पैक्ट सब आ गया है, तो ऐसे लग रहा है कि जो पार्ट टाइम स्पिनर्स थे डाल ही नहीं रहे, पार्ट टाइम बॉलर्स थे. स्लिंगर्स आर हियर टू स्टे. आई डोंट थिंक दोस थ्रो डाउन स्पेशलिस्ट्स आर गोइंग एनीवेयर. सो हाउ डू यू डेवलप अ all-round option? I think the team in 2011 had 6, 7 maybe in the playing 11, 8 bowling options.
As Ravi bhai said, it got to come from within. पहला काम है कि अंदर से आएगा कि मुझे बैटिंग मेरी इम्प्रूव करनी थी, तो वो जब तक मैं ही नहीं करना चाहूँगा, कोच मुझे कितना ही बोल ले, मैं जाके बैटिंग में लप्पा ही मारूंगा नेट में। पर अगर मेरे को कोच सामने खड़ा रहेगा, एक लप्पा मारा तो वो सामने से चिल्लाएगा मेरे ऊपर, दैट प्ले प्रॉपरली, देन आई विल स्टार्ट प्लेइंग प्रॉपरली। बट फर्स्ट स्टेप आई हैव टू टेक एज ए प्लेयर। देन ऑब्वियसली रोहित, आई थिंक ही कुड हैव बोल्ड इजीली दीज 10 years ऑफ स्पिन, आराम से 7-8-10 ओवर आराम से कर सकता था।
सुरेश
Raina used to bowl. UV wasn't a bowler.
Correct.
But UV bowled so beautifully in that tournament for all of us.
Viru did a job. Sachin did a job.
So it got to come from within, and of course management then can give you that कि चल भाई ये करना है, तूने 5 ओवर डालना ही है, whether you like it or not, then फिर वो पता है कि वो करना है, तो देन स्लोली वो आप उसका हैबिट ऐसा तब्दील हो जाता है। सचिन तेंदुलकर वाज प्रॉब्ली वन ऑफ द बेस्ट लेग स्पिनर इंडिया हैव प्रोड्यूस्ड, है ना, अनिल भाई के बाद उनसे बेहतर।
He used to turn the ball more than Anil, I think.
मतलब सचिन तेंदुलकर when he bowled leg spin, he was better than many leg spinner who was playing around the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when he bowled off spin, he was better than many who were playing globe. और जब वो सीम की बात करें तो वो कई बॉलरों से बेहतर थे भाई, बट उनको शौक इतना था कि भाई वो करना है। सो ऐसे नहीं बने। वो एक बॉल तो उन्होंने मुझे भी सिखाई थी जिसके कारण मुझे बहुत विकेट मिले हैं। वो सीम पकड़ के ऐसे बॉल बाहर की जो आउट स्विंग चलता है, सो वो विद इन होना ही है, क्योंकि
दैट इज अ बॉल जो उन्होंने आपको बताया था कि भाई ये ट्राई करो।
या सो आई यूज्ड टू बोल ऑफ स्पिन एंड देन ही टोल्ड मी कि विद द सेम ग्रिप you should try and roll this finger on the top of the ball, top of the seam, so it will swing like out swingers. So I developed that ball after practicing many years, and I got so many wickets. So वो एज ए बैट्समैन भी सोचते थे कि यार अगर मैं इस बॉल को खेलूंगा तो कैसे खेलूंगा। सो इट्स नॉट जस्ट व्हेन यू आर bowling, you are just rolling your arm. He was also thinking, how would I bowl to this particular batsman? When off spin comes to me, how would I play it? So it just evolves you as a cricketer. So I think everybody should bowl and bat together.
So what about the other end of it now? The bowlers, is it fair to expect them to bat better? Because I feel bad. I feel bowlers get a raw deal.
Yeah,
of course.
बिल्कुल.
It's nothing more frustrating to the opposition when your tail wags.
But is it is it beyond their ability to do that? Can you expect Bumrah to bat better? Or
He is batting better. He's batting better than I've ever seen him bat.
They look like tailenders, with no disrespect.
Because he wants to bat. Now he's got a kida batting karne ka. And he's up the order also. You see, he's at number 7, he's at number 8 now. If Shardul doesn't play or a spinning all-rounder doesn't play, he'll come at 8.
Did you work on your hitting at some point to improve as a batter?
So I was only a hitter.
Yeah.
But then later on, when Gary came, he gave me practice. Every day, half an hour, he gave me batting. When he got serious, I got serious that I can bat.
That's very. So before that, it wasn't as
Before
serious.
that, it was, I used to, whack here and there, good 20 runs, 25 runs.
Right.
I am happy. ठीक है, चलता है. But when I realized that I can do better than this, and my own teammate used to criticize me कि यार सकलेन ने भी बना दिया 100, डैनियल विटोरी ने भी बना दिया, तू कब बनाएगा? वीरू, पाजी हमेशा ये बोलते थे यार इतनी एबिलिटी है तो कब बनाएगा, रन कब बनाएगा? वही 10, 12, 15. बट वो जब गैरी ने मेहनत करनी शुरू करी तो मैंने भी करनी शुरू करी. फिर देन वो थोड़े से वर्किंग आवर्स आपके बढ़ जाते हैं. बट दैट्स व्हाट यू लिव फॉर ना. दैट्स व्हाट आई विश आई कुड हैव डन दिस बैटिंग के ऊपर थोड़ा सा मैं 2002-03 से काम करता तो शायद मेरे नंबर्स भी बेटर होते. ऐसे बैटिंग एंडोर्समेंट भी ज़्यादा होती और साथ ही साथ जो कुछ रिजल्ट बैट से मैंने शायद 2 या 4 या 10 मैच जिताए होंगे वो शायद 50 होते. सो इट मेक्स ए ह्यूज डिफरेंस व्हेन योर टेलेंडर्स actually spend more time in the nets, not just backing but also blocking.
And you're saying you owe a lot of that to the attitude of Gary as a coach. Coach साहब, आपने नहीं दिखाया एटीट्यूड ऐसा, मतलब लोअर ऑर्डर के साथ जब आप
लोअर ऑर्डर आप देखा नहीं, आप क्या बड़बड़ करते हैं? लॉर्ड्स में देखा नहीं, होम ऑफ क्रिकेट में देखा नहीं शमी और बुमराह को 50-50 करते हुए? देख भाई आप बड़बड़.
वेरी गुड. नहीं यू सी मैं भूल गया था, सर ने मुझे बराबर
लिया ना?
ऐसे बिठा दिया यहाँ पे. अच्छा है थोड़ी ये इधर बीच में road to World Cup बना देंगे हम, इस पे मारुति चलाएंगे. No, it's a fair point. But yeah, that is the concern that we have, and we don't, is the Indian team as well balanced? We're trying to find whatever little weaknesses to make sure the team overcomes it and, goes all the way, because that is the expectation from everybody, I guess, for a home World Cup. May I now move forward and invite our very special guest of honor, Mr. Srivastava, to join us on stage. He's the Senior Executive Officer, Marketing and Sales of Maruti Suzuki India Limited. So could we get a throne for the king of Maruti Suzuki Arena to be seated next to him? Come, sir, please come. Pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
How are you?
How are you, sir?
Check. So, Mr. Srivastava, thank you so much for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I think from what I've been told, you are also a very passionate cricket fan. Tell us a little bit about the love for the game that you enjoy. I'm sure it makes us feel happier and special being here today. Yeah.
Yeah, so like all Indians, I think I'm also very passionate about cricket. And I remember right from the beginning, like all my school friends, and we were used to listen to the commentary. We didn't have television those days. I have very fond memories of listening to, in the 70s, early 70s. In fact, I was listening to the commentary when India won the first game ever against England, which was in Oval in 1971. And Chandrasekhar took 6 wickets, I think, if I remember correctly. And England were all out for 101 or something like that. So that was the first few memories. And of course, I must tell you, Ravi bhai and Vaji bhai, that for me, you guys are icons and heroes, not just as cricketers. I believe cricket in India has really inspired a whole generation to do things and achieve in different aspects of our life: economic, business, corporate. In fact, 1983 when we won the World Cup, we also started. That was the first vehicle of Maruti Suzuki was produced in that year.
Oh, wow.
So that was 40 years back. We recently celebrated the 40 years for Maruti Suzuki, just as the 40 years of the 1983 win. And those two matches are really very inspiring to me: the 1983 World Cup win and the 2011 World Cup win. So I take it as a game which teaches you what teamwork can do, what character of fighting and coming back from lost sort of situations. So I think there are many very good managerial lessons to be learned, and that's why cricket is a very favorite game for me.
Anyway, it is one of the iconic brands as well of the country. You still have a very fine Maruti Suzuki Ertiga in your Alibag mansion, don't you?
I do. It's comfortable. Those roads are there, and it's been going fine for the last 5-6 years. Need a change now. थोड़ा बात करूँगा बस.
सर मेरी भी गाड़ी जो पहली मैंने ली थी ना, वो मारुति ही थी. मारुति 800.
I think there was a brand campaign a few years back, no? India की पहली गाड़ी. It's like an emotional connect that Indians have.
First time buyers India काफी ज़्यादा हैं because we are a young population and growing economy. और first time buyers में Maruti Suzuki obviously has a very large market share.
So I must ask you, of course, Maruti sir remains a very strong spender, patron of cricket, even today with big events, IPL, World Cups, even the upcoming World Cup, of course. So how is it that, can you tell us a little about the trust and faith you have in the business of cricket and how it reaches to the consumers and how that, works in your industry? Because you are obviously very committed partners with cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think cricket matches very closely with our target group, the TG as we call them. Cricket also is a game which is followed by across all geographies of India. I mean, across all states and across all segments and people, you know.
Masses.
Masses.
All ages.
Yes. So, and we have a huge portfolio of vehicles. We're the largest in the country, actually. We have 17 different models appealing to different segments of people. And this is one very good investment purely from a business point of view. It brings you a good reach very fast. So if you're launching a new brand and you want to get this message across quickly, create awareness for that brand, what you call reach, and this is cricket provides you that very fast. And even different segments which we are the cricket even at the middle of the market funnel, when you have consideration, etc. This is something which really impacts the consumers, and that is why it is a favorite, one of the favorite media vehicles where to invest. And this genre is given us a really good dividends. That's why we are big on cricket. In fact, cricket, news, and GC. These three genres are the genres where our consumer has automobile consumer has the largest affinity.
Sure.
And that is why this investment in cricket. We are investing big time, of course, not only in digital this time, as always, but also in the linear television, where while we are not the main promoters or sponsors, but we are buying FCTs in some of the big matches, all the India matches. We are like investing big time.
Sir, I can assure you, you will always be our main and biggest sponsor at ESPN Cricinfo. You obviously have been a passionate follower of cricket. I believe you also had some questions for Ravi and Bhaji. Anything you'd like to ask them? We've heard so much of their opinions and you know their stories better than all of us.
Yeah, so of course, Ravi bhai, I remember 1983 World Cup. You were also part of the team, and I am told that apart from all this cricket, and you are also somebody who follows automobile with passion, like you are a passionate Formula One. You watch, and you are actually, I don't know whether you actually driven a Formula One. So where does this come from, and what is it that makes you passionate about?
I think it's the adrenaline, the speed, pace, evolving of automobiles. When you see the way the car industry has moved 40 years ago when Maruti started to what Maruti produces today. You put that old model and that new model, it's like chalk and cheese. So वैसे ही I enjoy Formula One. I was at Spa this year for the Belgium Grand Prix, and had a chance to go into the paddocks, into the for McLaren and for 3 or 4 of the other ones. Got a chance to meet all the top guys, and it's exhilarating. The pace at which they go and the innovations that are being made, and which I think works in our sport. If you want to be successful in life, you have to move with the times. You have to keep pace with what the mind of a youngster is thinking. So as opposed to 40 years ago, today they want speed. They want, the razzmatazz. They want data. They want, just like we have the DRS and things of that sort. The electronic age, it's come. Now you have, cars that have gone electric. And it's just moving, and it just fits in with any sportsman. A sportsman who plays any sport, cricket, football, he will have an eye on cars. He will have a passion for cars. There'll be very few sportsmen I know who don't have passion for cars.
Great points, I think. And Ravi bhai, you mentioned about 83 and how it has changed from today. Volume के हिसाब से बताऊं, अगर 40,000 गाड़ी पूरे हिंदुस्तान में बिकती थी 1983 में, साल में, आज 40 lakh गाड़ियाँ बिकती हैं. India is now the number 3.
That we see on Mumbai's road.
That's the thing. अब से बजी भाई 2 क्वेश्चन है.
अच्छा.
एक तो थोड़ा ना कॉर्पोरेट वाला है
जी,
और दूसरा
एक थोड़ा रहा.
दूसरा ही पूछो जी. कॉर्पोरेट वाला मेरे ऊपर से जाता नहीं, तो मैं
दूसरे में ही.
पहला वाला पहले ही पूछूंगा. देखिए, I believe you are a great competitor, and I see you. I mean, I've observed on television, on the screen, you are like very passionate, and also I find that you have gone through ups and downs in your career, as most of us do. So, if there is some lesson from these ups and downs, and how you overcome those negative situations sometimes. Can you just tell us, because I believe it's got a great parallel in our corporate lives as well.
देखिए, अप्स एंड डाउन्स तो जो है वो जीवन में मेरे तो खैर बहुत ही आई हैं, और जितनी बार डाउन आया हूँ अपने आप को यही बोला है कि ये यहाँ से सिर्फ ऊपर ही जा सकता हूँ, नीचे और नीचे तो जा नहीं सकता हूँ. सो दैट वाज माय वे ऑफ लुकिंग एट थिंग्स कि यहाँ से इम्प्रूव ही हो सकता हूँ, बेटर ही हो सकता हूँ. और अगर वो आएंगी तो वो सीखते नहीं है. और मैं तो मिस्टेक भी मैंने कुछ खासा ही की है, दर्जनों के हिसाब से करी है वाइल आई वाज प्लेइंग, बट आई डोंट रिग्रेट. मैंने वो गलतियाँ नहीं की होती तो शायद मैं ऐसा इंसान बनता नहीं. सो एवरी वन इज़ डिफरेंट. आई वॉज लुकिंग टू इम्प्रूव माई सेल्फ एवरी डे, नॉट जस्ट एज ए क्रिकेटर. वो एक फेज़ था मेरा, वो 20 साल का, बट एज ए फादर, एज a citizen of this country, how I behave in public, what I do, that's what cricket taught me. Or over the years, whatever little mistakes here and there I made, ठीक है गलतियाँ हुई हैं, but I accepted those, कि हाँ मैंने गलती करी है. और अगर मैं गलती नहीं करता तो लोग शायद मुझे भगवान के नाम से जानते. तो भगवान तो कोई बन नहीं सकता है. तो गलतियां मैंने करी, बट यही है, सबके लिए यही सीख है कि मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा, शायद उम्र में भी बहुत लोगों से छोटा रहूँगा यहाँ पे, कि कुछ भी हो जाए अपने आप को सिर्फ ये नहीं देखना है कि ये जो हो गया ये निकल गया है, इससे बेहतर करने की वो होनी चाहिए. और थोड़ा ज़िद्दीपन जो है वो अगर आप में नहीं है तो आप कुछ बन नहीं सकते. मेरे ख्याल से वो ज़िद्दीपन होना ज़रूरी है, बट वो अच्छे चीज़ को पाने के लिए ज़िद्दीपन होना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि गलती करी तो उस ज़िद पे अटके रहना कि नहीं मैं ठीक था. जो बंदा कहता है कि मैं ठीक था, हमेशा मैं ही ठीक था, वो कभी ठीक नहीं होता.
So accepting one's mistake and be optimistic and improve. Great points. And of course, I was liking very much the conversation. वो रोहित शर्मा की ऑफ स्पिन करना चाहिए उसको, etc. In the World Cup which we won 2011, I was just thinking, Yuvraj Singh.
Yeah.
He was the highest wicket taker for India.
Yes, that's right.
Which is like amazing if you look at, and therefore those points has really struck me when you were talking about that. But talking of passion, वो आपका दूसरा क्वेश्चन है, वो थोड़ा सा क्रिकेट से ज़्यादा वो है. मैं एक मैच देखा था आपका, जिसमें इट वाज आई थिंक एशिया कप मैच, कोलंबो में था या कहीं था.
जी.
हाँ, वहाँ पे आपकी पाकिस्तान के साथ मैच था, और वहाँ आपकी कुछ नोकझोंक हुई
मोहम्मद आमिर,
नहीं शोएब अख्तर के साथ में, और लास्ट में आपने वो 6 मारा था, 3 बॉल बची थी. एंड आई रिमेंबर रामीज़ राजा उस समय कमेंटेटर थे, वो अभी भी हैं शायद. वो बोलते हैं कि आई कैन हियर व्हाट दे आर डिस्कसिंग ऑन द माइक, आई मीन द पिच पे जो माइक है. बोलते हैं कि आई वुड लव टू ट्रांसलेट दैट, बट एक्चुअली दे आर टॉकिंग इन क्रूड पंजाबी. तो I could imagine all what you would have said and what he would have said. But when you hit that 6, you were like really pumped up, and I think you pointed out towards Shoaib. And मुझे बाद में पता चला शोएब अख्तर आपको ढूंढते हुए होटल में भी
वो
पहुंचे.
कहानियां बनाई, ढूंढते आ जाता
वो
आ जाता ढूंढते हुए. कौन सा वो होटल, मतलब ऐसा था रिजॉर्ट.
वैसे आप बताना चाहेंगे वो पंजाबी में क्या हो रहा था डिस्कशन?
पंजाबी में क्या हो रहा था
बोल दीजिए सर.
वो कैमरे बंद करने पड़ेंगे. वो जैसे रमीज राजा ने बोला था कि जो हो रहा था, खैर बहुत कुछ हुआ, बहुत कुछ वार्तालाप हुआ, बट उसको भैया बर्दाश्त नहीं हुआ कि एक टेलेंडर आके उसको छक्का मारे. और शोएब अख्तर ऑब्वियसली वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट, मतलब, और जो फास्टेस्ट बॉलर एट हिज टाइम, जिसको देख के अच्छे बल्लेबाजों का वो हो जाता था. बट उसने ये रियलाइज़ नहीं किया था कि मैंने भी कुछ समय में ना बैटिंग अपनी इम्प्रूव कर ली है. सो उसको एक शॉक लगा था कि पहला ही बॉल में खेला, पहला ही बॉल छक्का भी ऐसा लगा कि बहुत लंबा छक्का लगा. और उसके बाद कुछ उसने मुझे
कहा प्यार से जरा. हाँ.
कुछ उसने मुझे आई लव यू कहा, फिर मैंने उसको कहा. तो बस वो बातों में बात इतनी बढ़ गई कि वो बस जब मैच ख़त्म हुआ तो वो सेटिस्फाइंग मोमेंट ये हुई कि हाँ ये छक्का एक इसको मारा, छक्का मार के मैच ख़त्म किया, वो सबसे सेटिस्फाइंग मोमेंट था।
Very good.
और हाँ, उससे भी सेटिस्फाइंग हो जाता अगर बाद में मिल जाता मुझे तो।
चलिए, thank you so much.
That was lovely. Mr. Shashank, thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
your
you very
time and
much.
your thoughts.
Thank
We'd
you.
like to present a small
you very much.
memento on behalf of ESPN Cricinfo to you, sir. So if you can have that sent, yeah. And if I could request the photographer to please have a picture with Ravi and Bhaji, and me, I shall be there, sir. Yeah. Yeah, you can bring it this way, yeah. Sir. Yeah. That's for you, sir, and Ravi and Bhaji will take a photo with you. Yeah. Two World Cup winners. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Shashank Srivastav, ladies and gentlemen. May I now invite our own king to join us on stage. Please give it up for the editor-in-chief of ESPN Cricinfo, Mr. Sambit Bal. We have music and all waiting for your entry. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Bal. We are here for a special. There are a lot of special things happening this year. Let's hope it's a successful year for the Indian team from an Indian fan point of view. But as you can see, it's the 30th year of ESPN Cricinfo as well. So landmark year started in 1993. We're into 30 years. So Sambit is just going to have a chat about, of course, I guess two prominent brands. We have Maruti, and we've heard from Shashank about the story. Let's hear from you about the Cricinfo story, and of course, two cricketers will contribute as well to that.
I mean, 40 years for Maruti, 30 years for Cricinfo, what a great story. You know, like I was talking to a few people here, I see so many similarities between these two brands. You know, Maruti was a pioneer and an iconic brand today, still an iconic brand, and Cricinfo was a pioneer, has been a pioneer in many, many ways. You know, in 93, people hadn't heard of internet. There was no internet. There was no browser when Cricinfo was launched, and some of you, I'm sure, are Cricinfo users, and I know the little bit about the history of Cricinfo. But at the same time, both the brands have evolved. They have evolved. They have always stayed contemporary, and yet, I don't think we have lost our core values. Maruti still produces car for every Indian.
Yeah.
We produce content for every cricket fan anywhere in the world, and that's the core value of Cricinfo, is that be true to cricket, not to a cricket team or a cricket board, but just to be true to cricket and true to cricket fans. And you know, we continue to do that. You know, we have just launched a new homepage. We have continued to evolve. You know, evolution hasn't stopped, but at the same time, we have stayed true to the founding spirit of Cricinfo.
The role of Cricinfo in an active cricketer and perhaps a former cricketer's life, scores, updates, stats, played a role?
It's a big volume there, even as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
You know, you just check the website in the morning, you get all the information you want to need, you know, what you need. And it's so important to keep abreast with statistics, of knowing what other teams are doing, who's scoring the runs, who's taking the wickets, the form of players. So, you know, in one punch of a button in about 15 minutes, you know, you're not only ready for the game that you're going to be broadcasting on that day, but with all the other stuff that's happening around the cricket world. So it's a volume of information and put out very fairly and squarely.
It's very important time, you would say, in the landscape of cricket, Ravi. We spoke of the importance of India winning World Cups just at the start of our chat. The ODI format seems to be an endangered species. Will it still attract you? Yourself rightly pointed an emotion we all feel. यार बहुत लंबा चल रहा है, boring है, नहीं देखनी है bilateral. IPL में मजा आता है. So looking at that, I guess it's a nice time to have a chat of what is the future of the game. Do you see the ODI format surviving? Do you think the World Cup, it's important for the World Cup, the ODI World Cup which India has won twice, to still be relevant, and how do you see it going?
I think it will be franchise driven. ये जो देख रहे हैं आप IPL and things of that sort, मेरे ख्याल में क्रिकेट जाएगा द फुटबॉल मॉडल, जहाँ पे बायलैटरल्स बहुत कम होगा. यू विल हैव मोर एम्फोसिस ऑन वर्ल्ड कप्स एंड फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल्स. जैसा फुटबॉल में इंग्लिश प्रीमियर लीग है, बुंडस लीगा है, कोपा अमेरिका है, स्पेनिश लीग है, वैसा अगर आप क्रिकेट देखेंगे आज अराउंड द वर्ल्ड देयर इज फ्रेंचाइज क्रिकेट गोइंग ऑन. सो द टाइम फॉर बायलैटरल cricket is going to be less because this franchise model is going to increase. जैसा फुटबॉल में you don't see England and Australia test series.
Yeah, it's more club and then less
club
country.
And then World Cup के पहले एक दो practice match and World Cup. Or there will be a European Cup like we have an Asia Cup. There will be a
So
Copa
there'll be
America.
multi-format.
And the emphasis
Multi-nation,
will be
sorry,
on
multi-nation
World Cup.
tournaments.
So where I am coming now
Yeah.
is ये जो bilateral cricket है, टेस्ट क्रिकेट छोड़ के, टेस्ट क्रिकेट भी दो ग्रुप बनाना पड़ेगा, 6 and 6. यू कांट हैव 12 टीम्स प्लेइंग टेस्ट क्रिकेट, कौन देखने वाला ही नहीं है. 6 टीम एंड रेलीगेशन एंड आगे पीछे. 20 ओवर्स क्रिकेट, स्प्रेड द गेम. इतना कंट्रीज को लाना है, लाओ उधर इन 20 ओवर क्रिकेट एंड ट्राई एंड स्प्रेड इट. 50 ओवर क्रिकेट हैज टू बिकम 40 ओवर्स, नहीं तो इट्स गॉन एंड द गेम हैज टू इवॉल्व. और ये नहीं कि नहीं कर सकते, कर सकते. जब हम वर्ल्ड कप जीते इट वाज 60 ओवर्स.
Yeah.
जब ये जीते वर्ल्ड कप 50 ओवर्स. क्यों 10 ओवर कम किया? क्योंकि लोग बोर हो गए बीच में इतना देखने के लिए, इतना समय. और अभी जो अटेंशन स्पैन है यंगस्टर का वो कम होते जा रहा है. ही वांट्स समथिंग दैट गेट्स ओवर फास्ट. सो 40 ओवर्स इफ यू वांट वनडे क्रिकेट. T20 विल सर्वाइव वेरी लिटिल बायलैटरल्स. बायलैटरल्स का कोई जरूरत नहीं T20 में. सिर्फ फ्रेंचाइज क्रिकेट खेलो, वर्ल्ड कप के पहले प्रैक्टिस मैचेस and play the World Cup.
It seems like a sad thing, no?
It is not a sad thing. The game is the coffers are being filled up because of franchise cricket.
But Bajipa,
And your strength as well. I mean, today you see the number of cricketers that have come out of the IPL.
yes.
The number of cricketers that have come out of the IPL going on to play for their states because they've got this platform.
Yeah.
You know, where they go out on that stage, they perform, the world sees, they're picked by their states, by different franchises, and move on with life and the money that's coming.
There's no disputing the popularity.
You can't live in the past. What I'm trying to say is you have to evolve with the time, even if you're a connoisseur of the sport. So you want test cricket to survive, please play it by the top 6. You can't keep adding test match teams जिसका domestic structure ही नहीं है उनके country में. Like Zimbabwe, like Ireland, इनके पास structure क्या है उनके country में? स्कॉटलैंड फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट खेलने के लिए. जब नहीं है क्यों टेस्ट मैच क्रिकेट में ला रहे?
Afghanistan have no first class.
Yes, Bhaji, you were at that time where you saw the floor shifting. Bilateral cricket was at its peak. Test series, ODI series, tours to Pakistan, tours to Australia, वगैरह वगैरह. Then came the T20 World Cup, no denying its popularity. But somewhere will it feel like ये World Cup में है तो खास बात तो यही है इस World Cup की. T20 World Cup, nothing away from it. But ऐसा लगता है this is the ultimate goal
because
for a player.
it comes after 4 years. You know, if this World Cup come after 2 years, then इसकी भी आप देखेंगे कि वैसे ही हम मानेंगे कि नहीं यार फिर आ गया है वर्ल्ड कप. और पिछले 2-3 साल से तो 2-3 वर्ल्ड कप हो गए हैं.
और ये तो यही फॉर्मेट है, हर 4 साल में 2 T20 वर्ल्ड कप होंगे ही.
सो इसीलिए ये स्पेशल है क्योंकि ये 4 साल बाद आता है. और जैसे रवि भाई ने कहा है कि अगर समय के साथ नहीं चलोगे, जब यहाँ पे आप बैठे हुए थे, मैं इनका नाम
शशांक
जी जब बैठे हुए थे, मारुति की बात हो रही थी कि जब इन्होंने वो इवॉल्व किया, समय के साथ ये चले, जो डिमांड है कंज्यूमर की, जब पब्लिक की नर्व्स है वो नहीं पकड़ी होती तो ये शायद मारुति आज भी वही छोटी मारुति बना रहे होते. बट आज इनके पास इतनी गाड़ियाँ हैं, अगर समय के साथ नहीं चलेंगे 40 ओवर क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? हो सकता है.
आप सहमत है रवि भाई की बात
मैं
से?
बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ. और अगर वो नहीं चलेंगे तो उतना पेशेंस नहीं है लोगों के पास, उतना समय नहीं है, क्योंकि T20 ने ऑलरेडी वो चीज़ कैप्चर कर ली है
जी.
क्योंकि अगर 40 ओवर में आप देखेंगे कि 40 ओवर मतलब 20 ओवर कम हो जाते हैं तो 40 ओवर का गेम जो है वो ज़्यादा लोग देखना पसंद करेंगे. और देखो क्यों नहीं हो सकती, अगर आपने रूल चेंज किया कि एक प्लेयर और अंदर ले आओ सर्कल में ताकि रन ज़्यादा बने, तो ये भी तो हो सकता है. अगर 10 ओवर कम कर देंगे, आप हर बार देखते हो 2 साल में एक रूल चेंज हो जाता है. पावर प्ले पहले 15 ओवर तक था, फिर यहाँ तक हो गया, फिर वहाँ तक हो गया, तो ये भी हो सकता है। और अगर होगा तो ये गेम बड़ा हो रहा है, इवॉल्व हो रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि ये टाइम की दरकार है, ये हो सकता है और होना चाहिए।
No, but the thing that you said is what cricket needs is narrative and context. Without that, no format will survive.
Yeah.
So what World Cup brings every 4 years, why does World Cup creates memories? You remember memories. That's something that's the main thing in when you're a sports fan. Memories are the most important thing. And World Cup, my belief that World Cup will survive. That's because not only also it's still the commercially the most attractive event in the world. T20 World Cups are not as bigger than the World Cup.
Yeah.
It gives you the space, it gives you the scale and the size and context. So you're completely right. Bilateral ODIs makes no sense at all. So take out bilateral ODIs, keep the World Cups, played only every 4 years. I disagree here. I don't think 50 overs and 40 overs will matter that much, as long as there's a narrative. And I think ODI cricket will also can survive in a multilateral format. अभी भी हम बात करते हैं एशिया कप की, या तेंदुलकर ने जो डेजर्ट टर्म में मारा था, that was a tournament. Hero Cup we remember as a tournament. You don't remember anything in bilaterals. So bilaterals need to go. You need to create perhaps remember the Afro Asia Cup एक था एक. So maybe Eurasia Cup might happen. But Asia has to be there because viewers कहाँ से आएंगे? Asia नहीं रहेगा तो, India नहीं रहेगा तो. So create more, maybe a couple of more smaller multilateral tournaments in the lead up to the World Cup. Like Asia Cup, इतने बारिश के बावजूद भी हमने देखा, it mattered.
मैंने आज भी अगर पूछोगे किससे, they'll say World Cup आ रहा है.
Yeah.
Whether the World Cup is 60, 50, 40 in the future, World Cup आ रहा है. They don't say the same thing of T20. Or T20 World Cup. They have to add that word. When it comes to ऐसा World Cup, World Cup आ रहा है. So in the mind of the people, there's only one World Cup.
Sure.
वो वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप भी होता है, लेकिन वो बहुत लंबा होता है. वर्ल्ड कप सिर्फ एक बोलता है ये.
रौनक, आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन फॉर यू.
हाँ बिल्कुल सर.
आप क्रिकेट स्टैट्स सब कुछ है आपके लिए भी है सर. धोनी ने कितने छक्के मारे हैं कैरियर में? कैरियर में कितने छक्के मारे हैं?
मुझे याद
नहीं याद ना. वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल में वो फाइनल छक्का याद है ना?
Memory.
क्यों? क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप में मारा था.
Memory. That's what. It creates memories.
So that's why World Cups are important. वो ये जो bilateral मुझे लगता है कि
multinational tournament.
बायलैटरल अभी क्या जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने
We
देखा?
remember the 1985. We remember 1985 too.
Sir, you are getting very passionate support.
No, Tony goes back for 6. वो याद है ना?
Yeah. Who remembers the bilateral point with Ravi Shastri? You remember the Dhoni line. Mr. Bal, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts. Samit Bal, ladies and gentlemen, the editor-in-chief of ESPN Cricinfo. We have not a lot of time, but I will throw the floor open to some questions from the audience. But please make sure they're good ones. Otherwise, you've seen how power-packed our panel is. They're willing to fight fire with fire. So yeah, any questions to either Ravi or Bhaji from the audience? Otherwise, we are going to conclude with a really fun segment and wrap it up. Yes, sir. If you could get a mic to him, please.
सुबह रवि भाई से एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा. आप दोनों वर्ल्ड कप विनर्स हैं, वर्ल्ड चैंपियंस हैं. क्या ऐसी चीज़ आपको लगती है जो इंडियन टीम में हमने लैक की है पिछले 6-7 सालों में? हमने देखा है कि इंडियन टीम टूर्नामेंट बहुत अच्छा खेलती है, लेकिन जब बड़े मौके आते हैं तो आप उस तरह से परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाते. आप दोनों वर्ल्ड चैंपियंस हैं, लेजेंड्स हैं, तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, दोनों ही?
मैं तो कहूँगा कि देख, वर्ल्ड कप आसानी से नहीं जीतते कोई टीम. ये एक चीज़ याद रखना. हम लकी है कि हमारे कंट्री में हम 3 वर्ल्ड कप जीते हैं. एक 2007, 11 एंड 83. सचिन तेंदुलकर 6 वर्ल्ड कप खेलने के बाद आखिरी वर्ल्ड कप में वर्ल्ड कप जीता है. 24 साल. तो इतना आसान नहीं है. वेस्ट इंडीज 74, 75, 79 में जीता है, आज तक नहीं जीते. इंग्लैंड ने शुरू किया वनडे क्रिकेट, उनको लगा 40 साल वर्ल्ड कप जीतने में. तो मतलब ये अभी इंटरेस्ट जितना है अपने कंट्री में, वो चाहते हैं कि हर साल जीतो. इतना आसानी से नहीं होता. टू विन द वर्ल्ड कप यू हैव टू हैंडल प्रेशर इन द बिग गेम्स, सेमीफाइनल, फाइनल. तो अगर हम सेमीफाइनल में हारे हैं 1-2 बार 3 बार, तो वो देखना चाहिए वहाँ पे क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गया. तो मेरे ख्याल में हैंडलिंग ऑफ प्रेशर,
Correct.
you have to be a little more fearless, you have to be a little more brave, you know, on that given day, rather than being a little bit on the back foot. तो जो टीम्स जीते हैं वो वैसे रहे, you know, not just India, even other teams around the world.
All right.
मेरा व्यू
sorry,
मेरा व्यू
please.
इसमें ये है कि आई प्लेड इन 2003 वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल. We were not experienced to play the big final, to be honest, and I couldn't sleep the whole night because it was a final next day. And तो जब ग्राउंड पे पहुंचे हैं वो प्रेशर इतना था ना, it is the pressure which is obviously take your mind somewhere else. You know, rather than focusing on your skill and what is required to do there and then, you're thinking about the results. What will happen if you lose? So it is about handling the pressure and keeping calm and doing what you have done over the years. You know, if you do that, more often you'll win. जो 2003 में हमें आया नहीं, 2007 में हमें मौका दिया नहीं, वो कुछ और ही लफड़े चल रहे थे टीम में. 2011 में पर जब वो मौका आया, so we were all kind of experienced. We knew how to handle the pressure. Even in the toughest of the situation, जब थोड़े कदम डगमगाते भी थे, तब कोई ना कोई आके संभालता था. नहीं यार, ये करना है, ये करना है. वो यहाँ पे रोहित का काम होगा, यहाँ पे विराट कोहली का काम होगा कि how to handle those situations and how to handle those players who are feeling the pressure. People will feel the pressure in big games. You know, that's where it comes down to winning the World Cup. नहीं तो हर साल ही आ जाता. Pressure is something, you know, जो टीम प्रेशर में अच्छा खेलती है वो वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बनती है. वो शायद ऑस्ट्रेलिया से बेहतर किसी ने किया नहीं है, इसीलिए वो सबसे ज़्यादा वर्ल्ड कप जीते हैं. तो आई होप दिस टाइम इट इज़ इंडियाज़ वर्ल्ड कप.
I'm going to try and go down memory lane with memories from Ravi and Bhaji. Whoever gives me the answer right is going to get a signed ball from Ravi and Bhaji. We could get those balls to their way. Even if they haven't signed it yet, we'll make sure they sign it before they go home. So let's throw up an image or two and have some fun. Now, Cricinfo people may not be able to answer some of these questions. Put your hand up. Only when I spot you can you give the answer, right? This is a really nice image. Who can tell me which game this is? Put your hand up first. I won't give it away. I know it's not the highest definition. Yes, sir. Give it a shot. Yeah. I can't hear you, so you can just come again. Yeah. And you can use the Cricinfo app. That's the only cheating allowed.
Is it the debut in the...
No, this is not his debut in New Zealand. Yes, behind. 19? Not the 83 World Cup. Anyway, now chalo, Cricinfo people can also answer if they want. Otherwise, the ball goes.
ये इंग्लैंड ओवल में मेरे
Not 87,
इंग्लैंड
not 85.
ओवल या लॉर्ड
Yeah,
डंकन
go
है ना
for it.
डंकन बैट से देख रहा हूँ मैं.
Perfect, Mr. Verma. The double 100 versus Australia
ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
in 1992. So, Mr. Verma will get a signed ball shortly. Good memories, no? Yeah?
Even I was not sure.
Even you were not sure.
I didn't know it was England or Australia.
Now, in that game where Ravi got a double 100, who made his debut? Hand up first. Which iconic player made his debut? Correct. Shane Warne. So that's going to be a ball coming your way, sir. And lastly, Ravi Shastri. We know Harbhajan Singh tormented the Australians because we were up and about watching at that time. Some of us may not have followed Ravi at the time. He used to torment the Australians. What was Ravi Shastri's average against Australia in Test cricket? Give it. You can check Cricinfo if you want. But give me a number. Whoever gets the number closest will win. What in 10 tests against Australia, what was Ravi Shastri's batting average? Does Ravi Shastri, you can guess.
44.
Okay, Bhaji says 44. What else? Who else? 55. Anyone else? 60. Huh? Somebody has got that. 77 was Ravi Shastri's test batting average against Australia. If you use Cricinfo, sir, well done to you.
Wow.
Did you? I'm sure you knew that, or I did see there. I'll give both of you a ball, right? I'll give both of you a ball. Don't worry. And you guys stop judging this now, okay? 77. Give it up for that at that time. And of course, the great man himself had a great record against Australia. So that's some great memories of 1992. Epic partnership with Tendulkar as well. Let's move forward. Next one. Whoever's getting a ball, please remember them. Yeah. No, that's not the question. ये तो आसान है. Now, put your hand up. Okay, put your hand up only if I acknowledge you. In the correct order, I want the hat trick. Which three batters? Correct order, I want the hat trick. Yes, sir. Go for it. You are already out, sir. Sorry. Yes. No, yeah, they're not going to. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
उसने भी बोला and won.
And won. Confirmed.
उधर confirm.
Bajipa, I think that's the right answer. Ponting Gilly and won. Give it up. The iconic hat trick of Harbhajan Singh. So, you two can figure if you want to do 1/3 of the ball. Yes. Next question on Kolkata 2001. This is a very interesting one. Who was the umpire? Quickly open the scorecard on Cricinfo. Either you know this or you know. Come on, open the scorecard. Whoever opens the Cricinfo app and opens the scorecard, get download kar lo app. Yeah. The umpire instantly gave them. One, he might have got overturned on DRS, but that way, to bloody Harbhajan would have got 100 more wickets with DRS. So let's not worry about that. The umpire, come on. Not Peter Willie. One umpire gave it. Give me one umpire. That man has the app open. Bansal Saab gave the hat trick.
No, I thought it was McGrath because वो खुद ही decision उसने दे दिया था. पैड पे बॉल लगा. Yeah, I'm not out.
And finally, the stats-based question, which is of course Cricinfo's your home for it. How many wickets? A record at the time. How many wickets did Harbhajan end that series with? Yes, sir. Well done. You deserve a ball of your own now. What memories, no? अभी भी कभी-कभी होता है ऐसे कि यार सोचते हो आप in your day-to-day life, what a series, no?
Yeah. That series made me who I am.
You know, but that series gave Test cricket the injection it needed.
Yes, absolutely.
It was dying. The pace of that series was something else.
Wonderful. What epic moments. Right, let's move on. Next one. Hi. No, wait for the questions.
ये है गाड़ी आपके पास?
हाँ, अरे बना के रखा है गौतम ने.
Right.
Brand new. चकाचक बनाया.
Tell me exactly what this series was called. Fully, with sponsored. Yes, sir. Go on. Benson and Hedges. World. Help him. You are on the center table, sir. You are an important man. I want to give you the ball. Yeah. I don't know you yet, sir, but I'm sure. Yeah. Benson and Hedges. World. Benson and Hedges. Mr. Shastri, say it. Announce it. Benson and Hedges.
World Championship of Cricket.
World Championship of Cricket. I'll give you and you the ball, sir. All right? You all can share it or not. Whoever's the boss, Lilo. What year was this? Okay, good. That's not a question. No, that's not a question. Why? Yaar, tu 87, 85 is right. Don't worry. I want to know. You can check scorecard quickly now. Ravi was player of the tournament. How many runs and wickets? Quickly. Open the scorecard, you'll find it. Whoever does it first. Come on. Sir, बार अभी भी खुला है क्या? मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. It will open, but thank you for your enthusiasm. It's a pleasure having you. Shastri's runs and wickets in the epic Benson and Hedges World Championship of Cricket. Who can tell me? Open the scorecard. Yes, sir. Where have you found that answer? Yes, well done. Let's move to our next picture. What an epic image this is. The game. Which game? Specifically which game? Correct. But that's not, again, a point, but well done. It is the final. Who did Harbhajan Singh dismiss in the final of the 2011 World Cup? Hand up. Yeah, you can go for it. Yeah, you already got a ball, no? So then, okay, but the answer is correct. It was Dilshan. Good final, Good big wicket also at the time. He had a pretty good tournament. Yeah. Pumped Baji at the time, as always.
As always.
World Cup final was that, even after 2007, that felt like the most intense game, perhaps? Jis tarah ki game thi?
इससे intense game, I think we played the final in Mohali against Pakistan.
The semi, yeah.
I think that was a far bigger game, in terms of pressure. I think we handled pressure better than the Pakistani players in that game, and for me that was the final. क्योंकि उसके बाद ये मैच जो है वो आसान लगा था. But yes, every game was a big game, and final was the final. But हमारा फाइनल शायद हो चुका था. We played the quarter final against Australia, which was a strong team. We beat them. Then we played against Pakistan. That's like final. And then फिर लगा अब यार लीग स्टेज शुरू हो रही है. तो but yeah, that night was something else.
Yep. Let's move on. Next image, please. Which game is this? What incident is this now? Well done, sir. Right at the start. This is, therefore, the feat I'm talking about. This game is from, what is the feat? No. Yes, you said it. You can call it. It was basically the 6 sixes of Ravi Shastri. So I'll give you that. You identified it immediately. Now tell me, put your hand up. I'll see if it's very easy. I won't give a ball for it. Who was the bowler? No, sir. Sorry, not you. Who was the bowler? Ravi Shastri, 6 sixes. Well done, sir. Tilak Raj was the bowler.
Oh yeah.
Tilak Raj was a part-time off-spinner. That takes nothing away from Shastri's achievement because he got 1 wicket in that game, Mumbai-Baroda, and went for 88 in that innings. Sorry, in that innings, 1 I think, 2.
Wow.
Tell me, acha, we both mic'd, no point. Yeah. Okay, I know one of them. I may have missed the other. Whose wicket did he get? Now, open the scorecard. Come on, this is what you need to do with the Cricinfo app.
दो बड़ा player.
Yeah. Ravi, if you heard Ravi, he's given a little hint. It was a Bombay-Baroda Ranji Trophy match.
संदीप पाटिल गावस्कर.
Right? Sir. Tilak Raj, yes. Give us the story. You remember who it was?
Sandeep and Sunny.
Sunny Gavaskar bowled by Tilak Raj in that game.
And Sandeep Patil, yeah.
Shastri had him for 6. You had a word with him after, didn't you? Or did you have
No, I've not seen him since.
Oh, you've not seen him since, bichara. आप ढूंढने नहीं गए बिल्कुल. All right, let's move on to the next one, please. I love it. Because Harbhajan took so much pride and you could hear in his emotions how much he loved batting. So now tell me, what game is this? Hand up and let me identify. New Zealand 100, very good.
Very
the
good,
100 against New Zealand. Yeah, where was it though? Bhaji's debut test 100, where was it? I think that player behind is a giveaway. So yeah, tell me, where was it? The venue. Well done. Who gave me that
well
answer?
done, yeah.
Well done. Ahmedabad. This is a banging question. If you're already following my pattern, you should be on that scorecard by now. Harbhajan Singh, of course, got a test 100 that day, 115 of 193. Which bowler dismissed him from New Zealand?
She's checking.
You're already on the... Wait, what Taylor? Which Taylor? Madam, you have not even checked the scorecard fully. You're only seeing the upper ka. Kamal hai, heights of being lazy hai. It was indeed Ross Taylor. Ross Taylor, who ended with 3 wickets and I think 140 test career or something. One of those was that day against Bhaji. याद है कैसे out हुए थे?
या वो एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था कि वो बाकी के जो बॉलर थे ना थक गए थे. विटोरी या और एक जीतन पटेल थे ऑफ स्पिनर, फिर फास्ट बॉलर सब थक गए थे. उसकी कहानी है कि फील्डर ना पीछे रखा हुआ था, जीतन पटेल ने भी, विटोरी ने भी. सो देन रॉस टेलर व्हेन ही केम टू बॉल ही सेड नाउ यू ट्राई टू हिट मी फॉर अ 6. आई सेड ओके यू कॉल द फील्डर अप. और उसने बुला लिया. और उसने बुलाया, जब वो ऑब्वियसली बॉल किया, मैं मारने गया हूँ, तो नॉर्मली बॉलर का है कि वो टप्पा उसका ठीक गिरेगा क्योंकि ही इज़ ए नॉन बॉलर. उसका बॉल वो फुल टॉस आया और आउट होने का भी अलग ही तरीका था. मैं आगे बढ़ा हूँ, फुल टॉस बॉल बैट पे लगा, हेलमेट पे लगा और पीछे कैच हो गया. तो जो कि मतलब कभी सोचा ही नहीं था कि ये आउट करके जाएगा, वो आउट करके गया.
बिजार विकेट.
बट आई एम सो ग्लैड कि वो मैच बच गया. वो एक स्टेज पे ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैच हार जाएंगे. 50 पे 5-6 आउट हो गए थे हम.
Absolutely. Are we done? Yeah. So then I'll do a last question. How many tests did it take until Harbhajan Singh got his next 100 after this game? Who remembers? The very next match. So 200s back to back at the time. What an era it was. What a player this man was. And how the team would be blessed to have a player of his skills today. And right next to him, my goodness, this is a man who will never be forgotten. You know, the iconic sort of presence that he has on the game just keeps moving forward. And what an absolute pleasure and privilege it's been for us to have some time with them. Please give it up to Ravi, Shastri and Harbhajan Singh.
Thank you.
World champions, great ambassadors of our sport.